exchange. Voxic's tagged as well. He's down to 11. So the HP adds up, despite the disadvantage in favor of Virtus.pro, and they'll capitalize on that. Buster able to take down Voxic. They're not done there. He's going to get aggressive, but he's out of ammunition, and that is a problem, as Kerrigan has no problem collecting the kill as a result, but they still have to get toward the bomb. Kerrigan's the one with the kit, so he's the factor. He's close enough that if he goes down, it can be scooped up on the way by, but the efficiency so far of Virtus.pro is to back off and stay alive, and Adren is coming into his own in this game as he finds 2 further kills. It's Frozen with it all to do. The kit on the other side. He's got the smoke at least gathered. That's one step of it. He's got the kid on the way by, but he needs the kill, and it's not going to happen. 10 seconds, 2 players. They know they've got time in their favor, and Kicker makes no mistake walking out for the assassination.
Very chaotic pistol round by both teams right here, missing a lot of shots, not really connecting it, but Adrian once again fighting a lot of impact. He was the guy getting a triple kill in the last round of the first half, and now again, another one right here. That's beautiful stuff by Adrian, staying alive, getting the double kill, and effectively securing the round for Virtus.pro. And again, said it before, this game is competitive. 8-8 now, Virtus.pro in a good situation right here. mousesports decide to force up Deagles, CCs, and MP9s. Decent amount of utility as well, but this is a round Virtus.pro needs to convert. We talked about these key rounds. There's been a few so far, and every single one of them has went the way of mousesports. So Virtus.pro is going to be able to pick up this round then. Game is more than just competitive.
Buster jumps down the ramp, rather. I was going to say the ladder. Speaking of ladder, though, that's where Sanji finds Frozen getting aggressive and punished for it. Rops. He's trying to find an angle and timing that's going to work for him. He's been up there silently, undetected, but he's missed the shots he needed to make that work. And even then, I don't know that it would have been enough for the round. So Voxic, MP9 versus 5, writing on the wall. This one's going to go the way of VP, and that gives them the lead in the game. Again, they lost their map choice, coming back against a very formidable trained mousesports. They're very trained, you could say. I do accept donations.
Oh, you do?
Sometimes. All the time. Please pay me.
Yeah, me too, man. More money, more funny.
No laughing matter for mousesports now.
No, and it's I wouldn't say it's starting to slip out of hands. It's still relatively early in this second half. We haven't seen mousesports buy up, but the fact that they're not successful with the force buy right here gives Virtus.pro another opportunity of getting around on the board, and that could potentially be a 10-8 lead. And dare I say it, it's not bad by Virtus.pro considering this is not their map pick. mousesports are supposed to win this one. mousesports are supposed to roll over them on a map like Train, but thus far they haven't been able to. Virtus.pro have kept in it. Now they're looking to take on a significant lead towards mousesports. Kicker finding Frozen. There we go. They're just going to sandwich this outer bomb side. Not much the mousesports players can do. Trying to stay alive as long as possible, but with USPs, CCs, and a single MP9, it's not bound to happen. Even Kicker is aware of a potential flank coming in from Vox again. Yeah, it looks like Virtus.pro is finally starting to find some footing. That's going to be 3 rounds in a row as well for them on this T side. And as I said, 10-8, Matt.
Yeah.
Sure, if we look at the odds, not that one-sided anymore, huh?
Probably not as much. I can't imagine. Virtus.pro certainly clawing back into this. CZ, tap, not going to work. Sanji will take out Rops. We'll go into a timeout. The first from mousesports, I presume mousesports. Said 3 of 4 remaining, and I imagine they are a little bit more in need of it at this point in time than Virtus.pro, and the decision is how to go about things in terms of purchasing, in terms of setup, and that's Kerrigan's choice to make. It's going to be Voxic that goes on to the AWP. What's the rest have on the table at this point in time?
It's a good question. What is Virtus.pro going to do? If I'm not mistaken, we're going to see more slow-paced Counter-Strike coming out from them. Maybe a bit of a technical, a bit of a pause going on right here. There we go. Round on, game on. We have seen Virtus.pro throughout this entire tournament play a slow-paced Counter-Strike style, and I wouldn't necessarily expect that to change at any time soon. So, mousesports, if you're well aware of that, save some of that utility, save the grenades, don't spend it in the beginning of the rounds, because you know that Virtus.pro is not going to rush you anyway. Voxic getting flashed out of position, Jame obtaining that towards Ivy, and slowly but surely they make a presence on the map. Voxic playing with the idea of peeking out. I wouldn't say that's a good idea. Look at that, the aggressive coming out from Sanji. I'm not sure mousesports is aware of that. If he peeks out now, could be a good timing. Voxic, though, is somewhat ready for it. There we go. There's going to be a vital duel in this round. Voxic is having an eye on it. There we go. Voxic take down Sanji. Jane not there, able to finish him off. Gets frozen, though. That's a nice refrag, and now it's going to be up to Chris J. And Robs to defend this inner bomb side. 2 guys to deal with 3 players. Should be more than doable. There we go. Chris J goes down to kick it, though. Robs can deny the bomb plant. There we go. Bomb goes down. Also the second kill. Got the bomb plant, though, still. 3 versus 2, but Rob stayed alive. That was so vital for mousesports here. Tapping the bomb as well. Pushing Buster to make a move up from heaven. Voxic is well aware. Takes him down. And now it's all up to Jame. And there's nothing he can do about this. Decided to save before, even before the round was transpired then.
Yeah, that's a bit of an early call. I think James been guilty of that in the past, certainly, but it goes the favor of mousesports, and the first gun round, therefore, successful after the timeout. Virtus.pro still has the lead, though, and a chance to get back into this with that op saved and in the hands of Jame.
I think it's very important here for mousesports, or sorry, for Virtus.pro not to be discouraged by that. I think they made the right call right here.
Yeah.
The way they pushed out Ivy, got the refrag on Jame, that was nice. Then exploded towards the inner bomb side. A bit unlucky with Chris J and Robs both being ready for it, but without Rob's heroic play right there, they would have won the round, no doubt. So, not a bad call by no means by Virtus.pro. Nice little boost here, and Voxic is well aware now. This duel between Jame and Voxic is interesting. This time around, though, a smoke is going to be the wall between them, and most likely not going to see any action for the next 20 seconds, unless Voxic decides to push in here. Jame is boosted up, Sanji goes aggressive, this could be it. There we go.
Good shot from Sanji to catch out Voxic, trying to retreat back down toward the old train. The bomb, Sanji and Kicker, though, not done there. They're going to march all over the CTs, and Virtus.pro is unrelenting so far on their terrorist side. It's just Chris J left. And he's already heading for the Hell's Deagle. Not much to lose in this round, so we might give it a go and try and pick up a gun. Wrong time to do it. There's, okay, fair enough, an AK there, but Sanji couldn't locate him through the smoke. Hasn't been around enough bats to echolocate in such a fashion. Jame. He'll hold to make sure Chris can go nowhere. 25 seconds left on the bomb timer. Chris trying to find an angle that's going to leave Jame with not much of a response, but didn't quite go far enough, because the longer Jame holds this, the closer his teammates get on the other side to pinch Chris in, and they'll head to CT spawn from both directions. It'll make this very difficult for Chris to get away with the Krieg, although he does get Jame, but now he's ready for the fight on the other side, and he's going to go down for it. I'm going to try and run to get that AWP. Unfortunately, I won't tell you until the next round whether or not they got it.
No, you won't. What I will tell you, though, is that Virtus.pro again takes the lead, 11-9 now, and starting to look like a possibility that this matchup may go to a third map. mousesports left with no money. Kerrigan has a decent amount of cash, but that's about it. The rest of the players still have to save. Going for somewhat semi-buy here. Deagles and armor. A single scout on towards Voxic, so not necessarily just a walk-by. By Virtus.pro, they still have to respect it. Be careful. There we go. You see how much damage the scout can do from the distance. Adrian takes down, and there we go. Chris J takes down Kickert as well. Sanji with the refrag on towards Chris J. But this round is still very much up in the air. A lot of damage has been taken by the Virtus.pro players already. Voxic finding a kill. Gets instantly taken down by Sanji again. He's had a great game so far.
Sanji's being a little bit cheeky holding this off angle. He's protected from Z-Connector. He's protected from Heaven. He's just hoping someone's going to peek out and not really be expecting him to be wide of the mark. Good flash. That catches out Kerrigan in full duration. But he's safely stowed behind the bomb train. He actually gets across the hitch. It's information for the T's, but he's alive. And he's actually got them closer to Frozen. Nearly missed the mark on Buster, but gets there in the end, and Kerrigan follows it up. A great close to the round, and mousesports desperately needed that round because it's starting to get a little bit, I guess tense might be the right word for it, considering this is their map choice.
Yeah, that was a vital round for mousesports right there. And as I said, you got to respect the buy of Deagle armor and a single scout onto Voxic. He only got 1 kill, but he tagged down 3 players. Made it so much easier for the pistols and the Deagles, for that matter, to be effective. And a great job by Kerrigan to close out the round. And that was exactly, as you said, what mousesports needed. Money is not looking good on towards the Virtus.pro side. If they lose this one, they give up control completely of this game once more. Whereas for mousesports, they still have a little bit to play with should they lose, but we're getting into the state of the game where every single round is so important, down to the fact that it is a competitive game. It is a game that is almost as close as it gets. There we go, Voxic almost connecting that shot. That would have been quite something.
We saw him get boosted a number of times in the first half, so he certainly knows how that angle works. Oh, he spotted the foot. He knows. He's well aware. He's going to get away from it, though. Smoke down. Just leave himself alive. Now, that does concede position from outside of Ivy to the T's, but look at the reaction. You have Kerrigan immediately going back towards CT stairs. So he'll be able to watch it, and it's containment rather than kills that the CTs will rely on. Containment for control. Meanwhile, Frozen still smoked off at Pop Dog, waiting to see what presence will be thrown his direction. Bomb still waits in T-spawn, just to note. So despite that we're seeing this sort of default split of the map with 2 players now in the brown halls, no less, for Virtus.pro, they're looking for picks at this point. With 30 seconds, they're going to have to make a decision and make it quick. Single flash thrown toward A. Goes too deep to do anything to Chris J. It's supposed to be a ruse because the bomb and the man carrying it was the one who threw it. It now heads toward the B site. Jame, he's holding it, but he's only got 1 HP against 5 mousesports players. This looks to be a tie game at 11-11. I think Jame, from that range even, he goes down.
Oh, that was a beautiful nade thrown by Frozen right there. Virtus.pro completely lost control over that round. They didn't get anything done towards Ivy. They didn't get anything done towards T-main. They had inner control, but Pop Dog wasn't acquired either, so they were left with 0 map control at all. And as you said, with 30 seconds left, the bomb was still down in T-spawn, so they had to rush into it. And at this level, it's simply not good enough. mousesports was ready, punishing it, and look at the money build up for mousesports now, 11-11. Virtus.pro left with absolutely nothing. A few deagles being brought into this one, a P250 as well, but apart from that, not a lot invested into this round. And as for mousesports, this is a golden chance for them to regain the lead, put 12 rounds on the board, and also build up a bank that is going to help them for the rest of the half. So, Virtus.pro, it was looking so good. You had your options, you had your chances, but haven't been able to capitalize. Whereas for mousesports, winning that force buy before with the scouts and the deagles, that definitely enabled them to get back into this game. Kicker goes down. It's to be expected when you're facing an SG from that distance. Did a good job taking down Robs to 25 HP, but not more than that. Kerrigan is waiting for this Pop Dog push. What he doesn't know is that they don't want to go down there. Probably got scared by the SG, and it looks like they want to explode towards the inner bomb site with no utility though. No grenades, no nothing, no armor. I don't know what the odds are of them getting the bomb plant, but I wouldn't say they're especially high here.
So Rop's off angle, low HP, but he's got that scoped Krieg, and that's plenty from that position. That's the potential that it has. For CTs especially, they can hold angles so much more effectively. It's 4 kills in the round, and mousesports take back the lead. So again, the timeout being a notable achievement for Kerrigan as he rallied the troops. They've only lost 1 round since then. They've gone and won 4 to have 12 total. We'll see what else can be brought. I mean, look at this right now. Kerrigan has an AUG. There's 3 Kriegs and an AWP. If you want to give Mouse a massive advantage on the CT side, you've just done it. Talk about holding angles. They're going to get aggressive, though, and it's Kerrigan that finds a Dren. That AUG's still no slouch. Yes, they changed it slightly, and they made it far more expensive, but it is still a very, very capable weapon. The weapon that it arguably had been for years that no one really cared to identify because it was too expensive.
That's the funny part about it, right? It's been in the game for so long, and nobody figured out that it was actually quite a strong one. Maybe Vinny will disagree with that. Vinny from Furia, he was playing with it for quite some time. There was a few players out there, but NBK as well. I believe Magic's Boy had a period where he tried it as well. But
I think some people were hesitant to use it because it had a bad reputation.
Exactly.
Even when it came into sort of, I want to say 1.6. I think it came in sooner than that. It was probably 1.5, 1.4, something like that. But it had the scope on it, right? So it was the noob weapon. Oh, look at you using an AUG. And I think it just had such a stigma around it that, you know, I'll say it. Counter-Strike players can be elitists. And no one wanted to actually use it and learn the weapon, whereas, you know, at a pro level, elitist or otherwise, if it gives you an advantage, use the bloody thing. Kerrigan. He's had great success with it, and he will continue to do so. A little bit late to retreat, perhaps. Overstayed his welcome. Got caught out by Kicker, but Voxic makes up for it to find Sanji, and that brings the bomb inside of the site and in vision of the CTs, who nearly closed the round, although Voxic is tagged and down to 3 HP, so Rops will come in to finish the business. 13-11 now for mousesports.
Unfortunately, if you're a Virtus.pro fan, the game has slipped out of their hands a bit. 4 rounds in a row for mousesports. At the score 11-9, you're thinking, all right, Virtus.pro, you got this one. You forced mousesports into an eco. They only had a scout, 3 or 4 deagles and armor, and that was it. But mousesports won that miracle round, and all of a sudden, then leading 13-11. Now they forced Virtus.pro into a somewhat weird buy. I'm not sure what I'm seeing right here now. Adrian bought down to 650. Buster down to $0. Sanji down to $0. And James didn't buy anything, just a Mac 10. So they must have a clear plan of going inside now and still keeping some money in the bank. But this is a desperation buy. This is a desperation push coming out of Virtus.pro. It better be successful. Otherwise, I'm ready to call a GG.
GG! Tasteless and Artosis style, you gonna do one of those?
Nope.
Okay. I'll do it for you. I kind of just did, I suppose.
You did.
Now that's a casting duo. All right. Take note. Counter-Strike duos. Rops. Backs down the ramp. Tries to keep himself alive and in contention. Waits to see what the aggression will be from the tees, but it's Frozen that finds it first. And he builds a snowman. He's going to go and get it 3 balls because that's how many snowmans have. Phil Kessel's jealous of 2 of those. As Buster catches out Frozen and takes him down in return. It's back to a 2-on-2. Bomb's still ticking, however, and that's the biggest issue because it's on 10 seconds. And they're trying to get on it. Buster's waiting with a knife and makes, oh, no mistake. I was going to say he missed it and actually got off of it, but it's enough, and it will give the rounds to Virtus.pro.
That was the miracle round they were hoping for. They invested into this one. They had a clear plan, buying the Mac 10s, buying the grenades to do this inner execute. Also saving a bit of money, so now James can afford to get dropped an AWP by one of his teammates. And just as I thought mousesports was about to close down this game, Virtus.pro fight back into it, 13-12. And to the guys out there laughing when I said the game was competitive, well, look at it now. Virtus.pro with a golden chance of doing the dirty stuff to mousesports, win this round, and you put the money in a desperate place for mousesports, and you tie out the game. Kerrigan trying to go aggressive again. This time around, he gets caught off guard. So does Frozen. Adrian with a nice double peek, double entry, and all of that comeback mousesports did is